Okay. All right, we'll go ahead and get started in a seat. First, thumbs up. You can hear me okay? Everything's good? All right. Okay, thank you. All right, so we'll get started in on a comfortable seat. So either, sorry, I'm going to be making sure my dog gets into his bed. So you can either sit on your heels, or as always, take a seat directly onto your mat, folding your legs, either softening your gaze to one spot on the floor or closing your eyes. Nice long spine, crown of your head towards the ceiling. Imagining you have a string pulling the crown of your head towards the ceiling, causing your spine to elongate. Shoulders relax. Then we'll do a body scan. Check in on any spots where you might be holding tension. First, wiggling your toes, then letting your feet relax. Letting your knees fall towards the mat. If you're in a seat with your legs folded. And wiggle your fingers a couple of times, let them relax. Then having your palms turn face down or face up. You need a little bit more energy. Let your fingers relax. Pull your belly button towards your spine. Let your shoulders relax. Let your jaw relax. Soften the creases of your eyes. And soften your forehead, letting it relax. And then focus on your breathing. Nice long inhales, equally long exhales. Filling your belly first, expanding your ribs, and then exhaling through your nose. Take a couple rounds of breath at your own pace. And then on your next round of breath, set your intention for class. Could be something you're working on in your own yoga practice. Maybe you want to focus on your breath, staying present. Whatever your intention for class today. And then we'll take a round of breath together to set that intention, emptying your belly last. Then take a nice long inhale, fill your belly, expand your ribs, open mouth, release. And on your next inhale, you can gently float your eyes open. Plant your hands on the mat, coming into your tabletop pose. In your table, your wrists are in line with your shoulders, knees hip-width distance apart, knees in line with your hips. Pull your belly button toward your spine, lift your chest. Take your gaze towards the top of your mat. And then inhale, drop your belly towards the mat and gaze forward for cow. Exhale, pull your belly toward your spine, round your back for cat. Inhale, drop your belly, gaze forward, cow. Exhale, pull your belly toward your spine, rounding your back for cat. And move through your cat-cow a few more rounds at the pace of your own breath. Focusing once again on your nice long inhale. And then equally long exhale. Then on your next inhale, we'll meet back in your tabletop pose. Then from here, extend your right leg long, tuck your toes on the mat, and then push your heel towards the back of your mat, feeling a nice stretch on the back side of your right leg. And then begin to lift that right leg parallel to the mat, toes turned down, hips parallel to the mat, pull your belly button toward your spine, and then extend your left arm forward, bringing it parallel to the mat, fingertips towards the top of the mat, thumb towards the ceiling. Keeping your gaze towards the top of your mat, so the back of your neck is nice and long. And then take one more nice long inhale here. Exhale, bring your hand and knee down onto the mat. Switching sides, tuck your left toes onto the mat, push your heel towards the back of the mat, keeping your gaze forward, pushing into your hands, keep your chest lifted, belly button pulled toward your spine, and then begin to bring that left leg parallel to the mat, hips parallel to the mat, and then bring your right arm parallel, fingers forward, thumb towards the ceiling. Really focusing on your breathing here and pulling that left foot back, right fingertips forward. Really feel that stretch here. Take one more inhale. Then exhale, bring your hand and knee back down onto the mat. Coming into a child's pose, bring your big toes to touch, and then bring your knees about mat width distance apart. Begin to drop your hips towards your heels, walking your hands forward on the mat, bringing your chest towards the mat, forehead resting on the mat. And then focus on your breathing here. Really taking your inhale toward your hips, and then exhale, maybe drop your sit bones back closer to your heels. Then on your next inhale, come back into that tabletop pose. Bringing your knees in line with your hips, wrist in line with your shoulders. And then walk your hands just a couple of inches above where they are. Tuck your toes. And then lift your knees an inch or two off the mat. Pull your belly button toward your spine. Push into your hands to keep that chest lifted. Keeping your gaze towards the top of your mat. And then focusing on your belly breathing here, warming yourself up for your practice. Take one more inhale here. Then exhale, keeping your knees bent deeply, coming into your first down dog, pushing your chest towards your thighs, ears in line with your biceps. Pulling your belly button towards your spine as you lift your hips up, chest coming closer to your thigh. And then on your next inhale, walk your feet towards the top of your mat, coming into a forward fold. We'll stay here for a couple rounds of breath, bringing your feet hip width distance apart, letting your head hang heavy. You grab opposite elbows with your hands, nodding your head yes, shaking no. You keep that deep bend in your knees for this first forward fold, letting your chest fall toward your thighs, feeling a release in your low back, maybe swaying your upper body from left to right, but keeping your hips steady. And if you have the grip of your elbows, you can go ahead and release. And from here, bring your right hand towards the center between your feet, but above your toes. Bend your right knee and inhale, reach your left arm towards the ceiling, coming into a twist.
You can bring a slight bend into that left knee, maybe taking your gaze up towards your left fingertip. Take one more inhale here. Exhale, switching sides, bringing a deep bend into your left knee. Left fingertips on the mat. Inhale, reach your right arm towards the ceiling. Maybe bringing a slight bend into that right knee. Maybe taking your gaze up towards your left hand. Or I'm sorry, your right hand. And really feeling a stretch in that right hip area. Take one more inhale here. Exhale, bring your right hand down onto the mat, coming into your forward fold. Inhale, palms to shins or thighs, creating a flat back. Exhale, folds. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, hands to shins or thighs, flat back. Exhale, fold. 1 more time. Inhale, flat back. And exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep your arms towards the ceiling, coming into a mountain pose. And then exhale, bring your arms into a goalpost shape, really opening your chest, lifting your chest, maybe taking your gaze up. And then inhale, reach those arms back towards the ceiling. And then exhale, dive into your fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Plant your hands, step back into a high plank. We'll take a round of breath here, getting yourself situated, wrists in line with shoulders, shoulders in line with hips, fingers spread wide, and then drop your knees down onto the mat, untucking your toes. Inhale, rock forward. Exhale, chaturanga, lower all the way down, hugging your elbows by your side, bringing your chin, chest, and hips down onto the mat. Inhale, lift your chest for cobra. Exhale, lower. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, lift for cobra. Exhale, lower. 1 more. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, lower. Push back through table or high plank into your downward facing dog. This time, straightening your knees as much as you can, dropping your heels down towards the mat, lifting your hips towards the ceiling, bringing your chest closer to your thighs, spreading your fingers wide. Push weight into your index fingers and thumbs, and then maybe pedal your feet, dropping one heel, then the opposite. And steady in your downward facing dog, dropping your heels towards the mat. Inhale, bend your knees. Exhale, step forward into your forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep your arms towards the ceiling, mountain pose. Exhale, goalpost arms, lift your chest up. Inhale, reach your arms back towards the ceiling. And exhale, dive forward into your fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold, plant your hands, step back, high plank. You have an option this time to keep your knees lifted or drop them down. Wherever you are, inhale, rock forward. Exhale, chaturanga, hug your elbows by your side as you lower down. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 1 more round. Inhale, bend your knees. Exhale, step forward into your fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep your arms towards the ceiling, mountain pose. Exhale, goalpost arms. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, dive forward into your fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold, plant your hands, step back, high plank. Chaturanga, slowly lower down. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, bend your knees. Exhale, step forward into your fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, mountain pose, reaching up. Exhale, goalpost arms. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Time, plant your hands, step your left foot back, coming into a low lunge. Walk that right foot forward so that your ankle and knee are in one line, and then drop that left knee down onto the mat. Inhale, lift your chest up, gaze forward for a modified low lunge. And then exhale, straighten your right leg as much as you can, pointing your right toes towards the ceiling, folding over that right leg. And inhale, bend into the knee, lift your chest, gaze forward, low lunge. Exhale, straighten that right leg, toes towards the ceiling. Do that 2 more times. Inhale, bend into the knee, low lunge. And exhale, fold over that right leg. 1 more round. Inhale, bend the knee, low lunge. Exhale, straighten the leg, fold over the right leg. This time we're going to stay here, toes pointing towards the ceiling. And then having a nice long spine as you fold over that right leg. Until you can't go any further, then you can begin to round the back, bringing your face toward your leg. And if you're not feeling a stretch here, you can walk that right foot forward a little bit and then come back into the fold. On your next inhale, come back into your low lunge, lifting your chest up, taking your gaze forward. Then we'll come up into a modified high lunge, bringing your hands onto your right thigh first, and either staying here or sweep your arms towards the ceiling. Pulling that right hip back, left hip forward, shoulders relaxed. Take 1 more inhale here. And then exhale, fold over your right thigh, reaching your fingertips forward, and then bringing your hands down onto the mat. Tuck your back toes, lift that back knee, and step the back foot forward to meet the front, coming into your forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep your arms towards the ceiling. Exhale, goalpost arms. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Plant your hands. Step your right foot back, coming into your low lunge on the opposite side. Walking that left foot forward till your ankle and knee are in one line. And then drop the back knee down onto the mat. Come onto your fingertips. Lift your chest for your modified low lunge. Taking your gaze forward. And then on your exhale, straighten that left leg, toes towards the ceiling, folding over that left leg. Inhale, low lunge, bend into the knee, lift your chest up. Then exhale, straighten the left leg, toes towards the ceiling. Do this 3 more times. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, fold over that left leg. Inhale, low lunge. Really lift your chest up. Exhale, fold. 1 more round. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, fold. And this time we're going to stay here. You start with a long spine. And then as you begin to fold, you can round your back, dropping your face toward your thigh or shin. And same with as on the other side, if you need a deeper stretch, just walk that left foot forward a little bit and then come back into the fold. And on your next inhale, come back into that low lunge, lifting your chest up. And then we'll come up into a modified high lunge, first bringing your hands onto your thighs. And then sweeping your arms towards the ceiling, shoulders relaxed, pulling the left hip back, right hip forward. Take one more inhale here. And then exhale, begin to fold over that left thigh, reaching your fingertips forward. And then bring your hands down onto the mat. Tuck your back toes. This time, step your front foot back into your high plank. Inhale, rock forward. Exhale, chaturanga. Hug your elbows by your sides. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, bend your knees. Exhale, step forward into your fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep your arms up, mountain pose. Exhale, goal post arms, lifting your chest. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Plant your hands, step your left foot back, coming into your low lunge. This time, keep your knee lifted. Inhale, first bring your arms onto, or your hands onto your right thigh. And then you can sweep your arms towards the ceiling for a high lunge, bending into that front knee, pulling the right hip back, left hip forward. Take an inhale here. And then exhale, begin to fold over your right thigh, reaching your fingertips forward. And then we'll stay here. Take an inhale here. Exhale, plant your hands onto the mat. And then inhale, come into a standing splits. Fingertips on the mat, kind of lunging forward, lifting that left foot off the mat, toes pointing towards the mat. And then begin to fold, letting your face fall towards your thigh or shin, letting your head hang heavy, nodding yes, shaking no. Take one more inhale here. Exhale, step that left foot next to the right in your forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep your arms towards the ceiling. Then exhale, goal post arms. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Plant your hands, step your right foot back, coming into a low lunge. Then inhale, bring your hands onto your thigh, and then reach your arms towards the ceiling for your high lunge. Shoulders relaxed. Left hip back, right hip forward. Take one more inhale here. And then exhale, fold over that left thigh, reaching your fingertips forward. Take an inhale here. Then exhale, plant your hands onto the mat. Inhale, come into your standing splits on this side, lunging forward, lifting that right foot off the mat, toes turning down towards the mat, letting your face fall towards your thigh or shin. Head hangs heavy, nodding yes, shaking no. Take one more inhale here. Then exhale, step that foot back into the lunge, and then step the left foot back to meet the right in a high plank. Inhale, rock forward. Exhale, lower halfway down or all the way. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Go through that one more time. Inhale, bend your knees. Exhale, step forward into your fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep your arms towards the ceiling. Exhale, goal post arms. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, dive forward into your fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Plant your hands, step your left foot back, coming into a low lunge. Then inhale, sweep your arms towards the ceiling. High lunge. Exhale, fold over your right thigh, reaching your fingertips forward. Take an inhale here. Exhale, plant your hands. Then inhale, standing splits, lifting that left foot up,
Folding over the right leg. Take an inhale here. Exhale, step the left foot forward to meet the right in a forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep your arms towards the ceiling. Mountain pose. Exhale, goal post arms. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Step your right foot back, coming into the low lunge. Inhale, sweep your arms towards the ceiling. High lunge. Exhale, fold over that left thigh, reaching the fingertips forward. Take an inhale here. Exhale, plant your hands on the mat. Inhale, standing splits. Right toes towards the mat, folding over your left leg. Take an inhale here. Then exhale, step back into the lunge, and then step back into your high plank. Inhale, rock forward. Exhale, chaturanga, lowering halfway down or all the way. Inhale, cobra, or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. In your down dog, we'll stay here for a round of breath, really lifting your hips up, dropping your heels towards the mat. And then on your next inhale, bend your knees. Exhale, step your feet forward into your forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, goal post arms. Inhale, reach up. And then exhale, bring your hands to heart center for a prayer pose. And then arms down by your side. Palms facing forward, opening your chest up. And you can either close your eyes or soften your gaze to a spot on the mat. We'll just take this time to focus back in on our breathing. And you can pay attention to your feet, feeling really grounded into your mat. Equal weight between the balls of your feet and your heels. Lift your toes and wiggle them a couple times. And then bring them back down onto the mat. Shoulders relaxed. Taking those nice long inhales. And equally long exhales. And on your next inhale, sweep your arms back towards the ceiling. And then exhale, dive forward into your fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Plant your hands, step your left foot back. Coming into your low lunge. And then inhale, sweep your arms towards the ceiling. High lunge, shoulders relaxed. Right hip back, left hip forward. Really bending into that right knee, straightening your left leg, coming up onto toes on your left foot. Really help that back leg straighten. Take one more inhale here. And then exhale, fold over your right thigh. Take an inhale here. Then exhale, plant your hands on the mat. Inhale, standing splits. Bringing your left leg parallel to the mat, toes turning down towards the mat, face coming towards your thigh or shin. And then from here, we're going to transition into a half moon. So bring your right fingertips onto the mat, just above your toes, but kind of off to the right. Then bring your left hand onto your hip. And then you can begin to open your hips towards the side of your mat. So instead of in standing splits where our hips are parallel to the mat, now we're opening them up. And then you can either keep your left hand on your hip or reach that left arm towards the ceiling. And keep a slight bend in that right knee. Then if you want to challenge your balance, you can take your gaze up, maybe off to the side, or you can take it up towards your left hand. If you want to challenge your balance even further, You can lift your right fingertips up off the mat, maybe just hovering them above the mat, or bringing that right hand into a half prayer pose. Wherever you are, we'll take one more inhale here, and then bend into your right knee, and exhale, step that left foot back. So you're coming into your extended side angle. So you're gonna walk your right hand on the inside of your right foot, bending into that right knee, reaching the left arm towards the ceiling, maybe gazing up towards your left hand, really opening your chest. And then we'll inhale, come up into a warrior two. And here, if you haven't already done so, you can check where your feet are so that your front heel is in line with the arch of your back foot, bending into that right knee, maybe taking your gaze over your right fingertips, shoulders relaxed, shoulders and hips in one line. Then inhale, flip your front palm. Exhale, reverse warrior. Left hand down onto your back leg or wrapped around your low back. Still bending into that front knee. Maybe taking your gaze up toward your right fingertips, right shoulder relaxed. Then inhale, come back into your warrior two. Then from here, we're gonna straighten your right leg, coming into triangle. Reach those right fingertips forward so they won't go any further. And drop your hand down onto your shin, reaching your left arm towards the ceiling. Or you could bring the top of your right hand onto the inside of your right leg. Wherever you are, try not to rely on your right hand to hold you up. And then creating a long line from your left fingertips down to your right, opening your chest up, shoulders relaxed. And inhale, coming back into a warrior two. Arms parallel to the mat, bending into that front knee. Then we're going to come into extended side angle once again. This time you can either gently rest your forearm on your thigh, or you could drop the right hand back down to the mat, taking your gaze up toward your left fingertips. And you can either stay here or try the bind. If you want to try the bind, you start by wrapping your left arm around your low back, maybe grabbing onto your thigh and stay here, or you can go further and reach that right arm underneath your right leg, clasping your hands, and then turning your chest back open. Wherever you are, we'll take one more round of breath. And you can release the bind if you have it. We'll all meet back in our extended side angle. And then inhale back up into your warrior two. Then exhale, windmill your hands down onto the mat, coming into a low lunge. From here, we're gonna come into runner's lunge. So walk your right foot over towards the right side of your mat, bringing both hands onto the inside of your right foot. You can either stay here with your back knee lifted or drop that back knee down onto the mat. And then you can stay here on your hands or fingertips, or maybe you want to come down onto your forearms. Whichever feels more comfortable for you. Or you can turn your right toes kind of off the mat. So you're opening your hip up. And then you can bend your left leg, grabbing back with your left hand onto your toes or the inside of your foot, kind of for a back bend / quad stretch here. Maybe taking your gaze back. You have the clasp of your foot. One more inhale here. And exhale, release. We'll all meet back in our runner's lunge. And then we'll walk that back foot or your right foot back to center. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee if it's not already lifted, and then step forward into your forward fold. Inhale, flat back.
Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep your arms towards the ceiling, mountain pose. Exhale, dive forward into your fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold, switching sides. Stepping your right foot back, coming into your lunge. And then inhale, come up into your high lunge. Shoulders relax. Left hip back, right hip forward. Come up onto those back toes. Straightening the right leg a little bit more. Bending into that left knee. Take one more inhale here. And then exhale, fold over your left leg. Take an inhale here. Exhale, fingertips down onto the mat. Coming into a standing split. Lifting those right toes off the mat. Toes pointing towards the mat. Flexing that right foot. If you're going to push against a wall behind you. Bring a slight bend in that left knee. Letting your head hang heavy. Then from here, we'll transition into half moon on this side. So bringing your left fingertips onto the mat, just above your toes, but kind of off to the left. And then you can bring your right hand onto your hip and begin to open those hips up towards the side of your mat. Right toes pointing towards the side of your mat. You either keep that right hand on your hip or reach the right arm towards the ceiling, opening your chest up. Either keeping your gaze onto a spot on the floor to help with your balance, or if you want to challenge your balance, you take your gaze off to the side or up towards that right hand. And then if you want to go even further, you can come into a half prayer pose, bringing the left hand at your heart center. Wherever you are, take one more inhale. And then bend into that left knee and exhale, step back, coming into your extended side angle. Bending into that left knee, left hand or fingertips are on the inside of your left foot. You're reaching your right arm towards the ceiling, opening your chest up, maybe taking your gaze up towards those fingertips. And then inhale, come up into your warrior two. Bending into that left knee, shoulders and hips in one line. You can check your footing, front heels in line with the arch of your back foot, arms parallel to the mat, palms facing down, maybe taking your gaze over your left fingertips, really bending into that left knee. And inhale, flip your front palm. Exhale, reverse warrior. Right hand down on your right leg or wrapped around your low back. Bending into that left knee. Left shoulder relax. Maybe taking your gaze up towards your left fingertips. And inhale, coming back into your warrior two. Straightening your front leg. And then coming into triangle, reaching those left fingertips forward. So you can't go any further, dropping that left hand down onto your shin, right arm towards the ceiling. Or bringing the top of your left hand onto the inside of your leg. Your back should feel like it could rest on a wall behind you. Maybe taking your gaze up. And inhale, come back up. Coming back into your warrior two, bending into that front knee. And then coming into your extended side angle. Same options on this side. You could either gently rest your left forearm on your left thigh. You could drop that left hand back down onto the mat. Right arm towards the ceiling. Or you could try a bind on this side if you did the other. First, wrapping your right arm around your low back, maybe grabbing onto your thigh. And then maybe reaching that left arm underneath your thigh, clasping your hands behind you, and then opening your chest up once again. Wherever you are, still bending into that front knee. You have the clasp of your hands. One more inhale here. And then exhale, we'll all meet back in our extended side angle. And then inhale, come up into your warrior two once again. Bending into that front knee. And then windmilling your hands down, coming into a low lunge. And then we'll take the runner's lunge on this side as well. So walk that left foot over to the left side of your mat, keeping your fingertips or hands on the inside of that left foot. And then you can either keep that back knee lifted or drop it down. And you can either stay on your fingertips or come down onto your forearms for your runner's lunge. Or like if you did this on the other side, you can walk that left foot so that your toes are pointing off the mat, which allows your hip to open up a little bit. Then bend into that right knee and grab onto the right toes or the inside of the right foot. And then maybe taking your gaze back in the direction of your foot, keeping that chest open, still on that lunge. You have the clasp of your foot. Feel that, you feel the nice quad stretch wherever you are in this pose. You have the grip of your foot. Take one more inhale here. And then exhale, release, coming back into your runner's lunge. Then walk that left foot back to center. Tuck the back toes. Lift the knee. And then this time step back into your high plank. We're going to stay in this high plank for around the breath. Shoulders and wrists in one line. Shoulders and hips in one line. Taking your gaze forward. And then you can either stay here, or if you want to challenge yourself a little bit, you can switch between your high plank, coming down into your forearm plank. And then coming up on the opposite side, back into high plank, then down into forearm plank. And come back up the opposite direction. We'll do that one more time. Down into your forearm plank, and then back up to your high plank. Inhale, rock forward. Exhale, chaturanga, lowering halfway or all the way down. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. You can stay in your down dog for a couple of rounds of breath. Dropping your heels down to the mat, hips towards the ceiling, pulling your belly button toward your spine, letting your shoulders relax. Then inhale, bend your knees. Exhale, walk forward, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep your arms towards the ceiling. Exhale, goalpost arms, opening your chest. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Plant your hands, step back, high plank. And then lower all the way down onto your mat. You can bring your arms by your side and rest on one ear. Focus back in on your breathing. Nice long inhales, equally long exhales. And inhale, bring your chin onto your mat. Turn your, turn your palms so that they're facing towards the mat. Bring your legs to touch all the way from your ankles to the tops of your thighs. Then inhale, lift your chest,
Lift your legs, then lift your arms off the mat. Locust pose. Keeping your gaze towards the top of your mat. Back of your neck is nice and long. Take one more inhale here, maybe lift a little higher. Then exhale, lower all the way down, resting on the opposite ear. Inhale, bring your chin onto the mat. This time, clasp your hands at the base of your spine. Bring your legs to touch, all the way from your ankles to the tops of your thighs. Inhale, lift your chest, lift your legs, and then pull your hands away from your low back, pulling them towards your feet, keeping your chest lifted, gazing towards the top of the mat. One more inhale here, lift a little higher, then exhale, slowly lower down, resting on the opposite ear. Inhale, bring your chin back onto the mat. For this round, you can either clasp your hands like you did the last time, or you can bend your knees, grabbing onto the outsides of your feet. Inhale, lift your chest, and kick your feet into your hands. Help you lift a little higher. Be pulling those thighs off the mat. Maybe you can rock back and forth. Wherever you are, one more inhale here. Pick a little harder, lift a little higher, and then exhale, slowly lower. Releasing your feet, but keeping your knees bent. And then letting your feet drop from left to right as you rest on the opposite ear, and a windshield wipering your legs. And then you can extend your legs on the mat. Inhale, bring your hands next to your chest. And then begin to push yourself up, first into a table, then into a seat on your heels. Then you can swing your legs around in front of you, reaching your feet towards the top of your mat, really grounding your sit bones into the mat. Then place your hands next to your hips on the mat, fingertips towards your feet. Then without lifting yourself up, just push into your hands to really elongate your spine. Crown of your head towards the ceiling. Take one inhale here, and then exhale, begin to fold forward with that long spine, walking your hands forward until you can't go any further. And you can round your back, letting your face fall toward your thighs or shin. Then you can keep your hands on the mat or bring them to your ankles or your toes. Really folding into this pose. And then your next inhale, begin to come up the long spine, crown of your head towards the ceiling. And then walk your right leg out, off to the side, bringing the bottom of your left foot onto the inside of your right thigh. And then kind of turn your chest so it's in line with your leg. Inhale, reach your arms towards the ceiling, shoulders relaxed. And then exhale, begin to fold over your right leg, reaching those fingertips forward and rounding your spine, bringing your hands onto the mat or the sides of your feet or toes, letting your face fall towards your thigh. And on your next inhale, slowly come back up, reaching your arms towards the ceiling. And then switching sides, extending that left leg long, right bottom of your right foot on the inside of your left thigh. Turn your chest towards your left thigh. And then begin to fold with that long spine. So you can't go any further, bringing your hands onto the sides of your feet, your toes, or resting them on the mat. Letting your face fall towards your thigh or shin. Inhale, slowly come back up. Reaching your arms towards the ceiling, long spine. And then bring your hands down. Coming into a twist. We'll first extend both legs onto the mat. And then bend your right knee. And then step that right foot onto the outside of your left leg, just above your knee. And then bring your right hand behind you. And you can either hug your right leg with your left arm or reach that left arm towards the ceiling and then hook the elbow on the outside of your right thigh. Turning your chest towards the side of your mat, keeping your gaze in that direction, or taking your gaze over your back shoulder, maybe walking that right hand a little closer towards you. Really elongate your spine. You take a nice long inhale, lifting up, then maybe exhale, twist a little deeper. Inhale, come back to center. Take a counter twist on your left side. And then we'll switch sides. Extending that right leg long, bending the left knee, bringing it towards your chest, and then stepping that left foot to the outside of the right thigh. Taking your left hand behind you. Same option. You can either hug that left leg with your right arm or reach your right arm towards the ceiling. And then hook that right elbow on the outside of your left thigh, turning your chest towards the left, taking your gaze in that direction or gazing over your back shoulder. Maybe walking that left hand a little closer towards you. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, twist a little deeper. Inhale, come back to center. Then exhale, take the counter twist on the right. And then we'll begin to unwind from here, straightening both legs back on the mat. And then we'll bring our bottoms of our feet to touch, coming into a Baddha Konasana. Once you're in your Baddha Konasana, letting your knees drop down towards the mat. Inhale, lift your chest up. And then exhale, begin to fold forward, the long spine, so you can't go any further. Then letting your face fall towards your feet or the mat. And either keeping your hands on your legs or walking your hands forward in your Baddha Konasana fold.
And walking your hands back towards your feet. Straighten up with a long spine. Straightening your legs once again. Pointing your feet towards the bottom of your mat. Bring your arms parallel to the mat. Thumbs towards the ceiling. Sitting up nice and tall to start. And then we're going to slowly lower down. Pulling your belly button towards your spine. You can begin to round your back as you come down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming all the way down, reaching your arms overhead, pointing your toes for a nice big stretch. Then exhaling your knees into your chest, rocking from side to side a couple of times, massaging that low back. Maybe you want to grab onto your knees, make circles, maybe in one direction, and the opposite direction. Then we'll begin to move into Shavasana. First, hugging your knees into your chest. One last time, pulling your forehead towards your knees, bringing yourself into a tiny little bowl. Taking an inhale here, then exhale, release. Extend your legs long on the mat, arms by your side, palms facing towards the ceiling. Lifting your chest up, bringing your shoulder blades closer together underneath you. And then resting back down on the mat. Do that body scan once again. Check for any spots where we're still holding tension. Wiggle your feet a couple of times. Let your feet flop away from each other. Let your hips sink into the mat. Wiggle your fingers a couple of times. Let them relax. Let your shoulders and head sink into the mat. Let your jaw relax. Soften the creases of your eyes. Let your forehead relax. And just focus on your breathing for the last couple minutes of your practice. And I'll walk you out the next time. Begin to wiggle fingers and toes. Bringing life back into your body. Let your chin drop from left to right. Inhale, reach your arms overhead for one last big stretch, pointing your toes. And exhale your knees towards your chest, then roll to either your left or right side. Coming into your Shavasana B, fetal pose. Using this pose as a transition back into your day. Inhale, slowly come up into a comfortable seat. Switching which leg is on top. Creating some balance in our body. Spine long, crown of your head towards the ceiling. Softening your gaze or closing your eyes. We'll seal the intention we set at the beginning of practice and close out our practice by taking one round of breath together. To begin
again by exhaling all of your air. A nice long inhale, fill your belly, expand your ribs, open mouth, release. Invite you to inhale your palms to heart center, bowing your head in gratitude, thanking your body for everything it allows you to do, for this beautiful weather we have today, and I thank you for joining me. The light in me honors the light in you.